Welcome back. My name is Steve-O32, former drummer of Sum 41, current drummer in my basement. Now, we're living in the age of social media, and if you want to reach out to your favorite celebrity and send them a message, it's as easy as the click of a button. Just this morning on my own humble social media platforms, I woke up to a message from an adoring fan. What a time to be alive. But if you were around in the early 2000s, we didn't have that luxury, and the world of celebrities was still shrouded in mystery. Fortunately, there was a popular TV show that brought viewers behind the scenes to see how their favorite pretentious D-bags live. Of course, I'm talking about MTV Cribs. The show was a smash hit. How did celebrities truly live behind closed doors? What did the inside of the Osbournes' house look like? It was a mystery. I remember back in 2001, Sum 41 was at a recording studio, and on a TV playing in the studio lounge was an episode of MTV Cribs featuring our Def Jam label mate, Ja Rule.
Welcome to the happy home.
And someone from the label was with us at the studio and just casually turned to me and said, "You know, that's not even his house, right?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And they said, "That's just a rental house. Everyone just rents the houses when they film that show. That's not his crib." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Are you telling me that MTV was lying to us? Apparently so. Robbie Williams faked it. Little Bow Wow faked it. 50 Cent? A2 Fite? Well, there was one person who didn't fake it. This guy. For season 4, episode 3 of MTV Cribs, Sum 41 invited viewers on an exclusive tour of my parents' house. Now, I haven't watched this episode since it aired way back in 2002. So I thought, why don't we watch it together right now? So I tried to upload this to YouTube, but it got blocked. Damn you, copyrighted material. So I guess I will just talk about what it was like being on MTV Cribs and how it all came together. For those of you who haven't seen it or want to watch it again, I'll leave a link to the original episode in the description. So MTV flew all the way up to Ajax, Ontario, Canada to film the house that I grew up in.
I'm Steve from Sum 41, and this is my crib. And my parents' crib.
Anyway, in the episode of Cribs, I start off with my mom's sanctuary. This is what we call the girly room. It's my mom's tea room. And there was a gate that was ostensibly there to keep the dog out, but when the dog died, the gate stayed, and that's when I realized
There's a barrier here to keep me out.
So from there, we go through the dining room where I meet up with Derek, who's eating a juicy jumbo hot dog. Then we go upstairs for the obligatory "This is where the magic happens" shot.
That's where the magic happens.
But, of course, because it's my parents' house, I take MTV into their room because I wasn't allowed to have girls over in my room.
No, that's not allowed.
Me and Derek show off my mom's massive collection of teddy bears, and then I reveal that the family computer, also located in a nook in my parents' master bedroom, was my 1990s dial-up porn den. I regret nothing. Then we go into my bedroom across the hallway,
I was conceived in that room over there, and then I moved in right over here.
where we meet up with Cone, who's just hanging out in there. And I ignore the fact that I have several gold and platinum records on the wall and fixate on my true prized possession, which is an Iron Maiden box set.
Waboosh!
After that, we go to the basement where, lo and behold, Dave is playing with my G.I. Joe collection, and Derek mentions that all the songs from our first album were written in that very room.
Pretty much wrote every song for our album
In this room.
This is where Sum 41 had almost every single band practice. In a way, Sum 41 was born out of my parents' basement. We show off our first ever Sum 41 tattoos. Finally, we send it off from the porch, and that's it.
But I live here with my parents, and that's cool to me.
And that's the tour. It's not a big house. Here's the thing. When Sum 41 got signed, I was 18 years old. From the end of 1999 until around 2003, I was just on tour constantly. I was living in a van or eventually on a bus. And so I didn't have time to get my own place. So technically I still did live with my parents, and it was a surreal experience because one night I'd be out partying with Tommy Lee and the next day I'd be grounded for not unloading the dishwasher. Now, people over the years have told me that that is their favorite episode of Cribs, and I think it's because it's genuine. I promise you, I did not fake that. That would be the most elaborate fake in MTV Cribs history. Personally, my favorite episode of Cribs aired in 2001, and it's the crib belonging to Redman. Very similar to my episode where it's really just his authentic apartment in Staten Island.
Don't worry about the screen too. You know it's still good.
It's hilarious, and he's an absolute legend for doing that. If you guys haven't seen that one, I'll leave a link to it in the description. All right, that's gonna do it for this episode. I will be back soon with more drumming videos. My name is Steve032. Ika ha, folks. I'm out.